Hi everyone. Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to see the architecture of Spark. Okay. So this is architecture of Spark, and in the middle we could see there is a cluster manager, right? So there will be one cluster manager in this architecture. So this cluster manager it will manage the resources of the cluster. Nothing but resources are nothing but CPU, RAM, and storage. Okay. So the cluster manager is available in this architecture, and this cluster manager will create a driver program, nothing but driver node. Again, node represents a single computer, right? So this cluster manager will create a driver program, and whenever we write our code and submit it, so this driver program will take that code in the first step, okay, and it will break that code into different transformations. We can say stages, task, and jobs. Okay, so there will be three types of transformations the code is broken into. So those three are nothing but stages, jobs, and tasks. Okay, so after dividing the code into different transformations, then it will this driver program will ask the cluster manager to create n worker nodes. Here in our case there are two worker nodes. It means this driver program asks the cluster manager to create two worker nodes, and these two worker nodes are available now. Okay, then after creating the worker nodes, this driver program sends that transformation code into cluster manager, and this cluster manager will share the transformations between the worker nodes. Okay, and this cluster manager now after sharing it will ask this worker nodes to run the transformations. Okay, so yeah, the main three things work: driver program, cluster manager, and worker node. Coming to each one, like let's discuss about the driver program firstly. So inside the driver program we have Spark context, nothing but Spark session. So Spark context is available till Spark 1.0 version. After that Spark session overcame it. Okay, so this is nothing but the Spark context, it defines the entry point. So whenever we are dealing with the code at the time I will show you, but just think that remember that Spark context defines the entry point for our RDDs, data frames, and data sets. Means actual logic we will start from the Spark session or Spark context. Okay, then here in the worker node we have executor, cache, task. Okay, so a worker node can have multiple executors. Okay, again a executor can have multiple tasks. Okay, and each executor will run on single worker node. So let's think we have two worker nodes here. Okay, this will work on this worker, sorry, let's think we have two executors here, and this executor will work on this worker node, and this executor will work on some different. So each executor work on only one node. Okay, it means let's take this executor. Okay, this will work on only this worker node, this won't work on some other worker nodes. It will work on this only one worker node. And in the same way, the data is firstly stored in the cache memory, and when the task are run, then this data is stored into hard disk or memory, actual storage from the cache. It is stored in the actual memory. So this is about Spark architecture and Spark context components. So Spark components we have, so driver program it is done, Spark session is done, and cluster manager. So Yarn and Moses. So we can use this Yarn and Moses are the cluster manager. Okay, so it will manage the CPU, RAM, and hard disk. Okay, so yeah, this is, and one more thing, we can control the number of executors and tasks. So we can control the number of executors and tasks. Okay, so this is about Spark architecture and Spark components. Yeah, thanks for watching.